EA Sports as we welcome you to Bank.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on third down. Cunningham over the middle. Sharp's got it complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now it's Jackson, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Cunningham. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Here we go now.
On the run, this is Jackson. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a third down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll look to throw here. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And now out come the Giants. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On the ground, this is Jackson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Sharp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
They'll run it with Jackson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Cunningham from the gun. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Operating from the gun. Cunningham. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And the Panthers coming out now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, here we go.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 15 and a first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They run it with James. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Run!
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's complete. Over the middle to Clark. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, that's complete to Clark. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and 1.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Here's the Panthers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Right back to him on first down. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Giants on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go.
Cunningham to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And the The Giants send out their punter now. And remember, he had his first punt blocked. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On third down. That's James. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A play fake. Now Cunningham. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, Cunningham. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun, Cunningham. And that is incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Check 15, check 15.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Hey, here we go now. Green, 39.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Here's the Panthers punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Giants' offense back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue, 90.
They run again with Jackson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Cunningham. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something There's nothing available there for him.
Not a big deal on that one. Just your everyday 67-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Cunningham. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking for Clark. He's got him complete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Well, that'll get him to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got Amendola on the connection. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. That goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination of whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident,
and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the fourth and final quarter of play. They'll set up a throw. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Set! Green, 39!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go. Green, 39! Green, 39!
And the blitz does come. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cunningham. And down inside the 15 he goes. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Here we go. Green, 19!
James. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Here we go now.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsor saying, hey, we need to get our product pushed here. But then it ends in a field goal.
Yeah, how about that? Not enough time for product placement, but plenty of time to get 3 points out of the deal. I know that the guys on defense, though, they wanted to get those products out there. They wanted to stop that drive, just were unable to do so.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, you know, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, here we go. Green,
On 3rd down, Cunningham. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. Danny Amendola on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They got 29 yards that time. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game. And on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free than what they're trying to get done on offense.
Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Giants on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Cunningham from the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The 15 yards through the air and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they'll go on the ground. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
All right, here we go.
And they'll run it here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 13 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And shutting him off, now open field. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. He'll drop to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. And he's got an open man, Clark. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Set. Blue, landing.
Now back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that'll bring up a third down. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. They'll set up to throw, and he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are close to finishing off this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And the Giants ready to come out now. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. On the crossing route, complete. That's Burton. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.